Radio Network. I'm your host, the Captain Cool.
Oh my goodness, it's Captain Cool!
Someone lose a grenade? Boom.
Make sure you guys find us online at theblitzsportsradio.com, on Facebook at theblitzsportsradio, and on Twitter at theblitz_sports. And while you're at it, go and follow us on Twitch and YouTube at WZZNTV for more than just sports talk. You can see me rocking my 6 shades, which I need to get more of them, I'll say that, okay? I always find a way to get new glasses and then lose them just like randomly. One time, it was the worst time I lost them. Real quick story. I was driving down the road, wanted to get my hair looking a little bit better, so I stuck my head out the window, and then I was like, oh, well, I got a little bit of a cowl look at the back of my head. I turned around, not thinking about the glasses on my face, and they flew off, and they got destroyed on the road, and I did not turn back and look and get them. They were Ray-Bans. Yeah, I felt bad about those because they were also aviators, so they looked really cool. But yeah, that's what you get if you're on WZZN TV. We also do a tier list Tuesday and a top 10 Friday. So we like to implement a little bit of that into the stream as well. And if you want to join in on any of the conversations today, you can call us at 256-576-4977. And this first hour is presented by the one and only people at Fleming Roofing and Restoration. These are the guys you need to talk to about all your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online and fill out your free quote today at FlemingHSV.com. And remember that Fleming always shows up. You're live hanging with the chillest crew of 2-8 Sports Radio in Booth. Keeping the show on the airways. The one, the only, Bandyman Bailey Lowry.
How's it going, Captain Cool?
It's going pretty swell, I will say. Friday's already here. This week flew by. We got Walker, Texas Ranger on the TV. Like always, he's just intimidating wolves and making them turn around and walk away. Bandy, I came up with an idea yesterday, okay?
What's that?
A drinking game for Walker, Texas Ranger, okay?
Oh, no.
And I know, I'm not an alcoholic, okay? All right? And you could do this with juice as well or something like that. I don't freaking know. But you turn on a random episode of Walker, Texas Ranger, okay? And you take a shot of juice or whatever drink you want to take a shot of. I'm thinking that the one and only Walker, Texas Ranger probably only drinks gin. So
Man, where's that gin and juice instrumental when we need it?
I know, right? But when you take a shot anytime he says a bad one-liner, which Chad told me that he says a lot of bad one-liners. I wouldn't know because we never have the audio on. The second one would be anytime anybody's thrown through glass.
Okay.
That one happens quite a bit. Anytime somebody is thrown in a fight, because that always happens. There's not a lot of punches. There's just a lot of throwing. And then any humongous explosions, as well as police chases. There's so many of those. And I could probably add on more if I watch them more. Karate episode, you take 5 shots if that ever happens.
I saw one of the police chase happen in one of the episodes earlier.
Every single episode has a police chase in it. Okay, that's like the main thing. He drives his dog or his Dodge to 500, I don't know exactly, and he's always just chasing down these people, and there's always crazy explosions.
Yeah, no, it was wild. It went from, like, in the span of 2 minutes, like, an inmate sees 3 guards, like, take out another inmate, and it's like, hold on, he saw us. Get him.
You're right.
And then 3 cops book it on foot, and then it's like, okay, I gotta get out of here. He busts through the fence, climbs over something else, I don't remember, and then hijacks, like, a prisoner transport vehicle or like one of those vans, and it's now like a crosstown chase
that episode
between 3 cops and the prisoner.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, who then runs into Walker, Texas Ranger somehow, who then stares down a wolf.
He's always there.
He's got that dog in him.
And you know what? I didn't even think that could be considered a police chase, but it can be because it's still a chase. The guys were on horseback and they were chasing.
Oh, they were on her. I forgot about the horses.
They were on horses, and then they ran into the woods. 2 guys met, and I guess one of them turned on the other ones. I don't know. And then the wolf thing went down, and that was always entertaining. That's always great. I love it. But, Bandy, I got a busy weekend, okay? And we also have a baseball game right after this show where we're going to be covering UAH going up against Auburn Montgomery. That will be going down at 5 over on 97.7 ESPN, the Zone 2. And while that's going on, there'll also be a softball game with the same team going up against the same opponent, and Steve Moulton's going to be on the call. That is, again, going to be at 5 o'clock, but it's going to be on Zone 3, so make sure you guys check out the social medias and keep an eye on that because those will have the links to those zones, or just find us on our apps as well as online. But, Bandi, the NFL draft happened yesterday. We got a lot to get into. Talking about that, we'll have one Mr. Joe Hunk to hop on and talk a little bit more about that. As well as, we haven't got to talk about Tennessee baseball with him. They kind of had a turnaround ever since they lost to Tennessee Tech only a week and a half ago. So that's going to be something we got to hop into. Lamar Jackson gets paid an outrageous amount of money and now becomes the most expensive quarterback, a.k.a. football player in all of the NFL, because he gets $260 million in extension money with what you said. It's not all guaranteed, but $185 million guaranteed is still pretty good. That's kind of what we thought it was going to go to. And let me tell you, if you're going to talk about what team had the best day for draft day round 1, I would say one of them is definitely going to be not just the Baltimore Ravens, but a man named Lamar Jackson in the first place, because he didn't just get millions and millions and millions of dollars, but he also got a star-studded wide receiver off of the draft board, which is going to help them out big time because, that's the one thing they really need. They need the add-on with the wide receivers. They could have added on to the defense, but they thought, hey, how about we just make this guy even more happy? Let's give him a spectacular wide receiver. Possibly wasn't really a need in the first round, but there were, worse picks like what happened for Detroit because, Bandi, I'm not dogging you, okay? Jahmyr Gibbs, he's a great running back.
He is.
The team that does not need the running back the most is the Detroit Lions.
Well, they don't have Jameson Williams anymore.
They got Swift. He was the starter in the first place.
That is true.
They also just picked up Montgomery from the Bears.
They did?
They had him, yes. They got him.
I actually didn't know that.
And now they have two running backs that literally have started for two different teams. Swift has always started for the Lions, but he's always been a pretty great running back. And now they got Jahmyr Gibbs. So now it's like, oh, well, don't worry. We're not going to do any passing this season. Let's just run the ball with all three of our running backs because they're all pretty good. And then we'll let Hutchinson take care of the defensive side. I think we'll make it to the playoffs just fine, okay? Another team that I think is really, and I know we're going to get into more of this draft talk, and we're also going to have our list later on. Another team that I think is making the right decisions by picking a running back, and I know, Bandi, I said that this was the guy that was going to go first. I did not think he was going to go this early. I was sitting in the car listening to 97.7 ESPN The Zone's broadcast of the draft last night because I was at the gym. All right? I was thinking, I was like, dude, I want to be watching this draft, but I got to hit the weights. It's arm day. I got to do my thing, okay? And then I thought, I'm an idiot. The draft is on our sister station, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. I'm going to turn that on. I got to listen to all of the picks until I went into the tanning bed because I'm scared that if a phone is in a tanning bed, it's going to explode. Turns out that's not the case, but either way, okay, Bijan Robinson, okay, from Texas. Going to the Falcons, you would think, well, why'd they pick a running back so early, okay? Bijan could have went a little bit later. Who cares, okay? You think about this. Desmond Ridder, young quarterback for this Atlanta Falcons team. If you don't have anybody to kind of guide him now, like Marcus Mariota, and he's still young, he still needs to learn a lot, why not get a running back to help out that offense? And also, it's a young running back, so they can relate in a lot of ways. They can teach each other a lot of things, and they can help out expanding that offense and slowly building it.
Build yourself a core.
Exactly. The Falcons are going to be fine. I think this is a great pick for them because Bijan Robinson, best running back in the draft, possibly one of the most talented players in the draft altogether. And then there were also a lot of other surprises that were thrown in as well. But, Bandi, before we head on to break, because I know this conversation is probably going to go long with Joe Hung, what do you got going down during the E-play-by-play?
Oh, we got a lot. The main story, though, is going to be Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Oh, yeah?
It's mine. People are finally getting their hands on it, and the reviews are out.
It looks good.
It does look good.
Yeah. You got any problems with it?
But.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it. You gave me that face.
EA coming in once again. Tons and tons of reports of hardcore performance issues, crashes, graphical issues, gameplay ruiners, not running at a consistent frame rate throughout the entirety of their playtime. Mm-hmm. It has been just hit by bug, by performance issue, by technical issue, and it's just been crazy.
Well,
so even though overall, it may be getting like it may have a good story. Probably a lot more expansive worlds. All of that shebang that all the marketing speak.
Fun gameplay.
But it runs like doo-doo. It's Callisto Protocol all over again.
You hate to see it, but hey, even Callisto Protocol showed us that a game that starts off trash can turn into something a little bit better. Okay?
Yep. A 4 out of 10 can easily turn into a 7 out of 10.
Exactly, just like that game did. But Bandi, do you got a list set up yet, or are you still thinking about that?
You'll find out.
Okay, I'll find out. Well, you'll find out mine too, I guess, Bandi. After our interview with one Mr. Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone. So don't go anywhere, guys, because you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
I'm with Ross from Southern Gent Landscaping. Now, Ross, lawn care is a key part of the landscaping business, but Southern Gent does just more than lawn care, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Here at Southern Gent Landscaping, we offer a variety of services to best satisfy our customers' needs, some of which include your typical landscape maintenance, your landscape installation, final grading, hardscaping, irrigation, AstroTurf, pretty much everything outside.
And let the people know where they can reach you.
You can reach us at 256-509-6088, and you can see some of our completed projects at Southern Gent Landscaping on Instagram.
That is Southern Gent Landscaping. Professional landscaping performed with satisfaction guaranteed.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
I'm with Ross from Southern Gent Landscaping. Now, Ross, lawn care is a key part of the landscaping business, but Southern Gent does just more than lawn care, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Here at Southern Gent Landscaping, we offer a variety of services to best satisfy our customers' needs, some of which include your typical landscape maintenance, your landscape installation, final grading, hardscaping, irrigation, AstroTurf, pretty much everything outside.
And let the people know where they can reach you.
You can reach us at 256-509-6088, and you can see some of our completed projects at Southern Gent Landscaping on Instagram.
That is Southern Gent Landscaping. Professional landscaping performed with satisfaction guaranteed.
The Blitz has been called.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, into a fun Friday here in No Man's Land. Welcome to the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. Everybody, I was Captain Cool alongside the Bandi Man, Bailey Lowry. Are you going to say yo?
I thought you were going to ask calling AKA Bandi.
I mean, you know.
I was waiting for that.
No, you're the Bandi Man either way.
How's it going?
It's going well, Bandi, okay. Either way, you guys can find us on the Twitter at @theblitz_sports and on Twitch and YouTube at WZZNTV. And remember that this first hour is presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online and fill out your free quote today. Remember, Fleming always shows up. Now, we got a guy on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, one Mr. Joe Hung from 104.5 The Zone. He's going to look over this draft that we had go on last night, as well as some high points that are going on in Tennessee baseball later on in the conversation. But, Joe, how are you doing today, my boy?
I am very tired.
Yeah?
Very, very tired, because about 12 hours ago was when I was pulling into the house. After all of our Titans radio coverage. So, yeah, it was a long night, man. I mean, we shut down 6th and Peabody last night. Like, I'm not kidding. When the show wrapped up last night, we were turning around, and the moment that Mike Keith said, good night, we'll talk to you tomorrow night for round 2 and round 3, there were waiters and waitresses putting chairs up on the tables like that very second. Like, it was a long night, man. It really was. So, got a little bit of sleep, but now we're getting ready for round 2 and round 3.
Exactly. You staying on the ball. I mean, you got the new child, okay? You're finally back in the workflow swing of things, and now you're right into one of the busiest weeks of the offseason, which is the NFL draft. And for the Titans, it wasn't really too busy of a night, but for Tennessee, it was a little bit more busy. The Titans picked 11th overall, and they got Peter Skoronski from Northwestern. I got his name, all right? It only took me one swing, and then I could hit it on pitch number 2. But this is this is what we were calling for. I mean, we weren't expecting them to pick up a quarterback or a running back. It was mainly they need to fix that offensive line. Tell us how you feel about this pick, and where do you see it really helping out the most with this Titans team?
All right, so let's go. Let's break down the question that you had, because you said we didn't expect the Titans to get a quarterback.
No.
Titans were actually working on trying to get a quarterback.
No,
okay?
really?
They were. And I would like to commend the Houston Texans, because if they didn't know it, they have solidified the fact that the Tennessee Titans will be rocking those Houston Oilers uniforms when they play them in 2023, because they blew the whole thing up, man. The Houston Texans blew the entire thing up with the rumored plan that we had been told by a lot of people was about to happen.
Yeah.
And so, the reason why Houston went with CJ at 2 was because they had the deal done with Arizona to move back up to 3 where they could get Will Anderson. I don't think that if Will Anderson if the Houston Texans can get did have that deal in place with Arizona, they're going Will Anderson at 2. They're not going CJ Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
So no, they were trying, but Peter Skoronski, it is so odd because I talked to you right when we first started saying that we shut 6th and Peabody down. I mean, there were, I would say, 300 to 400 to 500 Titans fans inside 6th and Peabody last night, and I had never heard a crowd cheer so loudly for a non-skill position player in my entire life. I never had. Like, again, guys, we've been talking. We joke about Dennis Daly. We joked about how horrible he is and was and all that. Like, we joked about it.
We were joking?
No. We were telling the truth through jokes. And so it was one of those comments that the moment that we talked about Skoronski potentially being the pick, I know we talked about him a few weeks ago, but it was the smart play. Like, and I'm kind of torn. Like, if Paris Johnson Jr. would have been there, would we have taken Paris Johnson Jr. over taking Skoronski? I'm not sure, because Skoronski was actually graded out as the number 1 tackle and the number 1 guard in the draft. And in fact, the Titans themselves are even saying, we drafted an offensive lineman because there are various spots on the offensive line that he can play. And so just because he may start off 2023 at the left guard position, not saying he will, but if he does, not saying that if he starts off at left guard, that he's not eventually going to kick out to left tackle. And just because he's starting at left tackle doesn't mean eventually he doesn't move into left guard, depending on with what happens. So I think that it was a position that obviously we needed. And I also believe that with Rand Carthon, it was nice to just see the Titans seem competent.
Yeah.
Like, it just was. Especially after last year. I mean, we were set. Like, last year and this year when it came to the draft was totally different. Night 1, we were prepared for a straightforward thing. Like, we thought we knew what was going to take place. We thought we knew who the Titans were going to pick. Now, we thought it was going to be Treylon Burks the whole time last year. But we also didn't think that getting Treylon Burks would have the ripple down effect, and getting to Treylon was going to happen. Everything that was going to happen was going to happen. So we weren't prepared for that last year and through everything that was going to take place and everything that happened. Whereas in this year, we were prepared for chaos. I mean, we had went over so many different scenarios about what we were going to do, because not only were we broadcasting this over all the Titans affiliates, we had it on Titans Radio's Twitter feed and our Facebook pages and all this other stuff where you were able to watch this. And so I had graphics made up. I had all this other stuff that the moment that the trade happened, we were ready to go. And it didn't happen. And you also saw not just it not happening, that Rand Carthon and Mike Vrabel didn't panic and say, okay, well, crap, this didn't happen. We now need to move up for somebody else. Or we now need to move up for this guy. We now need to move up for that guy. We need Anthony Richardson. Oh, crap, Paris Johnson's not going to be there. We need to move up for him. Like, they stayed calm, and they stayed pat, and they stayed at where they wanted to be. And they knew that, look, if none of this stuff played out, we still had pick 11. And we still knew that a great offensive tackle or offensive lineman was going to be there at 11 that would start day 1 for us in about 5 months.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was like, look, it was a win-win situation, because in this draft, the one thing that we've heard about the most is there were probably 15 players that had quote-unquote first-round grades. Well, the Titans were in that window where they could pick one of those 15 players. So, that was a smart decision by them. And it was a smart way. It felt nice to not feel like you did something stupid last night, and to not go, all right, well, what are we going to do night 2? What's going to happen with this? We traded A.J. Brown. We do have Treylon Burks coming in, but he was supposed to be A.J. Brown in 3 years, but we needed to be A.J. Brown in 2022. And it's more like, wait a second. We've added offensive line depth through the free agency and now through the draft. We have the 10th pick going into tonight. Okay, we can actually do some things. There are players that are available that can add to this football team in numerous positions, potentially even some starters that we can go ahead and draft. This is actually, we're set up in a really good position.
Yeah, and I really like the position that the Titans are in, but like at number 11, what were the other players that maybe popped into your mind that the Titans would go with, or was it always going to be Skoronski the entire way if they didn't get to trade up to one of those top positions to try and get an Anthony Richardson or possibly one of the other top quarterbacks?
No, if the Titans were staying at 11, they were getting the best offensive lineman.
Okay.
So,
no doubt.
Like
no
that
doubt.
was going to be it. It was going to be the best offensive line.
Yeah.
It was because that was the need. Okay, now, again, there are certain times where you take the shot, okay? You take the shot. And if you only take the shot when you know that you're going to get the guy that you want. So you don't trade back. I mean, you don't sit at 11 and reach for a particular quarterback because your other quarterbacks are gone, when instead you have the guy there that you absolutely need. So, we've hated on Ryan Tannehill, Titans fans, non-Titans fans, people in Tennessee, people in Alabama, like everybody hates on Tannehill. But now, right now, as of April 29th, April 28th, we are in a position where now Ryan Tannehill is getting an offensive line in front of him that we're really going to get to see what type of QB he actually is in 2023. He may be a Pro Bowler. He may be a crappy quarterback, but we now are at least going to see this based on the fact that the Titans are putting a good offensive line in front of him.
Joe Hunk with us from 104.5 The Zone in Nashville, and we actually had a little bit of news come out 2 minutes ago. Will Levis won't attend day 2 of the NFL draft after falling out of the first round.
Probably smart.
What do you think about that, Joe Hunk?
Man, it's something that would make sense, mainly because literally you're the laughing stock of the NFL and college football and the SEC and everything else. And to be quite honestly, man, you just look like a prick all night long. Like you just did. He did. He just looked like a prick. Okay,
Yeah.
Like he seriously looked like this pretentious person and pretentious guy that you were going to just get in and nobody wanted. Look, the whole idea of Will Levis dropping is because of what we've been hearing in the draft when it comes to his falling out of favor with a lot of these teams. Now, look, it wasn't just that we were hearing that Will Levis was going in and not doing well in the one-on-one interviews. We were hearing that Will Levis was going in and just blowing up and bombing these things as bad as you possibly can. Like, it was almost one of those of like a coach looking at him and going, all right, so what do you think, if you're in this scenario with the offensive line and you see this defensive line doing this, what do you believe that you're going to need to call? And Will Levis is probably sitting over there on the other side of the desk, be like, I don't know, I'm just going to throw the ball, guys. Like, look, when you see my arm, that's all it's going to matter, okay? It isn't going to matter what the defensive line's doing. Doesn't matter if they're blitzing. It doesn't matter if they're stunning. All you guys need to know is that I'm going to throw some bombs and we're going to win football games. Okay, well, that's great. But what are you going to check to in a hot route if this cornerback is pressing up on the wide receiver and you're seeing the linebacker scoot over to the left and you see a big hole in the middle of the field? Look, guys, I'm not trying to tell you what I'm going to do and not going to do because that's just going to happen in the situation. What's going to happen is I'm going to throw laser beams and bombs, okay? Do you look at me? Look at this body, okay? This is a body of a guy that is going to dominate the NFL. All right, well, that's great. But how are you going to lead the locker room? Guys, I don't need to tell you how I'm going to lead the locker room. Because when they see how good I am, they're going to follow me. Okay, they're just going to follow me wherever I go. Okay? Look, you've already got endorsement deals. They're already in place. If you draft me down south, you're in Atlanta, if you're a Texan, if you're a Cowboy, guys, I'm already there. Just put a comma in between the I and the S, and I'm a Levi sponsor. Like, it's easy. Okay? It's already in place. That's what he was doing. Like, he was just walking in going, okay, that's great. But look, all we were asking you really is just like, how do you think you would like Houston? Guys, it doesn't matter how much I like Houston because the only place going to matter is where Super Bowl is because that's where we're going. Okay? It just doesn't matter.
I would have got him on the team.
That sounded like Radon from Blue Mountain State.
I mean, that's legitimately all it is like the guy had to literally walk in and they tell him, hey, man, we need you to take your foot off the table. And he's be like, all right, my feet can't be on the table if I'm laying on the table and my feet are hanging off. Like, it was like, what are you doing? Like, the guy apparently went in to 32 interviews and bombed every single one of them in historic fashion. Wow. Because the entire NFL, it was out on him after the interviews. It wasn't ability. Yeah, he's a little inaccurate. Okay, yes. You know what? So was Michael Vick at times. Okay, and until we all found out what was in his backyard, he was best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay,
And so was the guy that took number 4.
I mean, seriously. So there are other quarterbacks in history that have been inaccurate because of things like there are quarterbacks that you will see come out of this draft and go, all right, we need to fix a little bit of the mechanics. We need to shorten his throwing a little bit. We need to have a quicker motion. We can fix those things. All right, that's not a problem. All right, we can't fix if you're a douche. Okay, we just can't because that looks like it is embedded in his soul. And it looked like that every single time because the man was sitting back there. And I've been in Union Station. Like, there's not that many places for you to hide all the girls. Okay? Like, was he just Ubering a different girl in with every shot? Like, what was going on? Okay? Because, and I'm telling you right now, the man left Kansas City because he's already broke. Like, I don't know where he was getting the girls from, but he's like, look, I was spending money I thought I was going to have because I thought I was going to be like in the top 5, and I was already spending millions of dollars. And now I'm going to be lucky to get any sort of a 6-figure salary bump or bonus right now. I'm in trouble, okay? I've already pissed off everybody in the NFL, apparently, and this is bad. Like, guys, Johnny Manziel was a DB, but Johnny Manziel at least found a team that liked him enough to trade up for him in the first round.
We don't talk about that anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Heisman helps with that.
Well, no, it does. Okay, but first off, like, what are you hanging your hat on? Okay, yes, you made Kentucky. Okay, you got them to the Music City Bowl, bro. Okay, like you got them to the Music City Bowl, and that was it. You didn't get them to a New Year's Six Bowl. At least Manziel did that multiple times.
Yeah.
Like you have all of this cockiness, and you don't have the merit to back it up. Like at all. Like, look, this is the biggest issue with this, okay? And look, this happens in businesses all the times, okay? There are guys right now that could be doing jobs that they are not doing and they are overqualified for because the locker room doesn't like them. That's it, okay? Because the NFL locker room is such a brotherhood, okay? And in working with NFL players that like I am now, and with working with guys that have played professional sports in every direction that they have played in America, overseas, wherever it is, the locker room is the biggest thing. And how many DBs, and I don't mean defensive backs, are leading a football team right now and everybody loves them? Like, as much as Ben Roethlisberger was a scumbag off the field, he was a fantastic teammate. And I know this for a fact, okay? So it doesn't matter about how you are outside of the facility. It matters about what you are inside the facility, because if you're an amazing person inside the facility, your teammates are going to have your back.
Yeah.
Okay? It is looking like nobody wants to have Will Levis's back because it looks like he's coming off as a total DB. And it looks like he's like a prick. It looks like he's full of himself. And it doesn't look his confidence. He's already crossed over that line of cockiness, and nobody understands why. It doesn't understand why at all. Like, I've went through people and been around people in my life where they have been some of the cockiest people in the world. And then I look at them and go, bro, do you not see where you live? Like, you're acting cocky, and you're like in this 100. I mean, like, the town itself has fewer people than what a high school basketball game gets attended to.
Yeah.
And you're thinking you're the baddest man on the planet? Like, no, slow your roll there, okay? Like, you know, I know, okay? I don't care how high your truck's jacked up. You're not the biggest guy in the room.
It do be like that, though.
So, no, that's the problem with Will Levis, okay? And now you're already hearing these rumors. Oh, the Steelers are fielding picks for the 32nd pick tonight. Oh, this team. Guys, I will tell you this, okay? This is what I want you to do. All right, draft starts at 6 o'clock tonight because we have two rounds, round 2 and round 3. All right, I want you to go outside your house. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know where you're going to be.
Baseball game.
Baseball game.
So you're at AU. You're doing AUM UAH tonight.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So here's what I want you to do. I want you to slide the windows open. okay? Just slide them all open. It's going to be a beautiful night at Charger Park. I want you to slide them open. And when you slide them open, I want you to keep an ear towards the north, okay? Directly to Nashville. Because I promise you, I told you 5 minutes ago, I had never seen a crowd collectively cheer an offensive lineman draft pick the way that I saw last night. If Will Levis's name is called out as the pick by the Tennessee Titans, you will hear a collective boo. Okay? Do you remember the book in the Dr. Seuss book where all the Who's have to look up to the sky and have to chant, we are here, like Horton Hears a Who?
Yeah, it was Horton Hears a Who.
Like, you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay? It'll be the exact same way. The clouds will part with a collective boo of a city booing him in. He will be the most hated man in Nashville before he even steps onto it. And it's not just the fact that he's going to be a Kentucky Wildcat, okay? It's not that. Because you know what? There are Alabama fans that eventually like Cam Newton because they like the Carolina Panthers, okay? Like they just did. Okay, there are Tennessee Titans fans that are also Auburn Tigers fans that love Derrick Henry because even though he's an Alabama player. Like this happens. Okay, there are Falcons fans that are also Auburn fans that love Julio Jones. So the whole idea of it being a Kentucky guy, no, if you're good enough, we'll let you go on that. Okay, it's the fact that you're a prick. Like that's the biggest part of this. And we're trying to build an amazing locker room in Nashville. You will come in and blow it up before you even step foot off the plane, and nobody in Nashville wants that.
Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone. Talking Will Levis for most of this one. I will say I'm not complaining about it. There's things I'm taking from it, okay? And I'll talk about it later in the show, but I'll talk to you personally about it on Will Levis. But with that next pick, though, that the Titans do have, which is, I believe, the 42nd, is it?
Yeah, it's the 10th pick. It'll be the 41st.
41st, okay. So the 41st pick in the second round. All right. I mean, which direction are the Titans going? Okay, is this the pick where you go for a quarterback? Is this the Will Levis or the maybe even the Hendon Hooker type of pick? What would surprise you and what wouldn't? Don't talk more about Will Levis, please.
No. Trust me. I'm not joking about it. Like that's the whole seriousness of this. I hope through my phone call and my conversation with you, you understand the hatred the city already has for him. Because even today, when the rumors started coming out about Tennessee looking to potentially trade up to 32 to get Will Levis, like every person that said it was going, no, do not do this. Like don't. And so I'm not there are two players that I could truly see the Titans drafting at 41 if he's available or trading up for. And this is the direct opposite of what I just said. I would love to see Jalen Hyatt on this team. I absolutely would love to see it because now with an offensive line and now with the fact that you do have a Treylon Burks and you're trying to look for these these wide receivers, you've added Chris Moore, but what we're talking about is you still don't have the burner.
True.
You still don't have the deep threat guy, okay? And Jalen Hyatt is the guy that, honestly, he was getting that talk about the first round, but because of the way the draft went and because of the wide receivers falling so far down and Jordan Addison being the first wide receiver taken, and then, boom, you start seeing those wide receivers go four wide receivers in a row. After that, Jalen Hyatt was available. Now, but I would love him just because of his speed. I think that will be the way that I would love to see Tennessee go. But if it's not Hyatt, I could also be totally happy with Hooker.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be a homer on this. I'm not trying to be a guy that would love to see a Tennessee Vol playing because we saw how much love Dobbs got last season when he got that start for the Titans against the Cowboys, and Vols fans and Titans fans were just in heaven. No, like I'm not talking about it for that. I'm talking about it because Hendon Hooker has the potential of being a very, very good quarterback. And it's also one that between him and Malik and Ryan Tannehill, that you have two or three options that Malik may be the odd man out because of the knowledge that Hendon Hooker brings into it. The reason why the Titans probably didn't keep Josh Dobbs doesn't have to do with his mental capacity because the man is brilliant. Yeah. We talk about, he was the degrees and all this and all the things that he was doing, the aeronautical engineer or whatever it was, astrophysicist, whatever it is.
Real estate agent.
Like, we talk about that jokingly, but it had to do with his ceiling. Like, that's what this is all about, is his ceiling. And Josh Dobbs' ceiling was not high enough where the Titans felt like, okay, we can't get another player that has a higher ceiling. So with Hendon Hooker's very teachable. He has the ability to come into a locker room, and he has the ability to lead a locker room. Okay, look at what Tennessee and how Tennessee rallied around him last year, and his ability to be that leader. Okay, he isn't an over-the-top guy. He's not a guy that is going to be somebody that's going to be in your face. He's a guy that is going to work his tail off. Malik is the exact same way. If anybody ever bashes Malik and his ability to play the quarterback position, I know for a fact that Malik Willis is one of the hardest working players in the Titans locker room. I have seen it myself. I've seen him after practice working as hard as he can to understand the offense, to understand the NFL, the windows that he needs to make. I have seen every single bit of it. So this is not me saying that somebody has told me. This is me seeing it from my own two eyes. I have watched Malik Willis practice at St. Thomas Sports Park, trying to get better and work as hard as he possibly can. So it's nothing like that. But if the Titans feel, and Rand Carthon is a guy that evaluates talent, and he did it for a living. This isn't a J-Rob thing where he's just, let's get the best quarterback because we need a quarterback, and hey, here we go. We can take the project. If Hendon Hooker is grading out higher than Will Levis, then the Titans will take Hendon Hooker with their next pick. I just don't know if he's going to be there at the 10th pick tonight. Yeah. I just don't know.
Yeah, we'd love to see it. We'd love to see it happen because, again, Tennessee Titans fans will get really hyped because he is he was going to Tennessee, and he was pretty much a hero for that Vols team. But now moving over to the baseball side of things, Joe, because we talked about this Vanderbilt-Tennessee matchup last week, and now Tennessee seems to be on a 360 type of mentality after losing to Tennessee Tech because they go on, just totally sweep Vanderbilt, destroy the random team that they played, and then they're going on already winning against Mississippi State. Talk about what is going on differently in this Vols organization that's making them win so much.
They're getting their swag back.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I'm not trying to exaggerate. Like, you were able to watch this team, and there's teams that are just missing something. They're missing the confidence. They have every bit of the ability, but there's the glue is not there. The bubble gum is not there to get all the pieces stuck together. Like, it's not there. Yeah. Okay. And that happened last week. Okay, we talked about Vanderbilt coming in and them taking receipts about what happened at Hawkins last week, and now Vanderbilt was the better team. By the 12th inning, Friday night, Tennessee had taken Vanderbilt's soul. They did. I mean, it was a total fatality.
The gut-wrenching loss right there.
Yeah, it was a total fatality. Mm-hmm. All right, it was that moment where and I can't remember the Mortal Kombat character, where they literally went in, grabbed the spine, and jerked it out, and the character is just sitting there for a few seconds and then eventually drops.
He flops.
Okay? The spine getting yanked out was the game-winning home run. The body flailing for a second before dropping was the next 2 games. Because they didn't know that they had their soul taken.
No.
But that's exactly what happened. And the moment that they came back after being down 3-1, back-to-back home runs in the 9th inning to tie the game up, bringing in Chase Burns, who was a starter, and him just going and throwing fire for 3 innings, and then walking it off, Vandy was done. And that's all it's about is the swagger.
Yeah.
Okay? As again, we talked about this with Will Levis. There's a difference between swagger and cockiness. Okay?
Exactly.
This is swagger. And when you have swagger and you're getting hot, that is deadly. Now they're going to have to keep this because you still have a lot of baseball left. I mean, we haven't even gotten into May yet. I mean, we will by next week. But we're still rolling to Memorial Day when the SEC tournament is. You still have a lot of baseball left, but you have found your swagger. All right, now you just need to keep that. And that's all it was. That's all it was about. Every bit of this was about swagger. And the moment that they got it, they're Gucci. They just are, okay? Because this Tennessee team and this Tennessee fan base all is based off of confidence, because they knew they had the talent. Chase Burns, Dolander, Beam, you have the pitching, okay? You have every bit of it. You have the offense. Maui Ahuna, whenever he's healthy, is one of the best shortstops in baseball. I'm talking about college baseball, and he's working his way at being a top draft pick, okay, when he's healthy. They hadn't found it. They haven't clicked, okay? What's going to happen is if Tennessee makes a run through the college regionals, super regionals, and to the World Series, if they were to do that Vandy game, that Vandy series, circle it. That was the moment it all happened.
That would definitely be the one. And now they're sitting in the top 10, looking like one of the best teams in the country, just out of nowhere, and we'd love to see it. But, Joe, that's all the time we got for you today. We're going to let you be and enjoy the draft tonight, and let the people know where they can find you on socials and online.
At Joe Hug is where you can find me everywhere. You can follow me there. I'm going to be tweeting out from the draft tonight. We've got night 2 of the draft going as well, so you can watch it. I'll be tweeting out the video on my social media feeds, so you can watch it there. And look, our team that we have, there is not another NFL team that is going to be doing what we're doing tonight. So make sure that you watch it. Go find me on Twitter. Follow me at Joe Hunk, and I'll be shooting the videos out, because our coverage of the NFL draft, it will rival what you're watching on NFL Network and ESPN.
All right, we look forward to it. I always watch you over ESPN and all that other stuff anyway, so it's totally fine. Either way, thank you very much, Joe. Have a wonderful day, and love you.
All right, love you. Bye.
Great stuff from Joe Hung from 104.5 The Zone. We got 2 little booms this time. Either way, we're going to hop into a break. When we come back, we're going to close out the first hour, preview the second, and get into more of the fun to come. Don't go anywhere, because you're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now, because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem, or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Afternoon Blitz here on a fun Friday in no man's land. I'm your host, Cam Cool, alongside the other host, Bandi Man Bailey Lowry.
Hey.
And we had a nice little conversation with one Mr. Joe Hunk. A lot of it was dogging Will Levis, okay?
It was a lot of dogging on Will Levis.
I gotta say, all right, because I'm gonna talk about this a little bit later, but I think I'm gonna agree with Leaf, okay, Ryan Leaf, all right. I'm gonna say that this is probably the best thing that could have happened because the man at one point thought that he was gonna go number 1. All right, he thought he was gonna go number 1, which is absolutely out of this world. And if he thought he was gonna go number 2, again, out of this world. Just because some test scores say that C.J. Stroud might not be good at test taking, okay, he got an 18 out of 100, all right? It's not going to change the NFL team's opinions of what they want, and they still ended up getting C.J. Stroud. And the Texans also got, Will Anderson, who was probably the best in the entire draft when it all comes down to it, okay? But now we're looking at Will Levis, and we're thinking, well, why didn't he get picked in the top, the top round, the first round of this draft? Well, you think about it, there's only one quarterback, maybe 2 quarterbacks that should have went, and they did go. Other than that, you had Anthony Richardson, who it's like, you got to be desperate for a quarterback, okay? This guy, he does have the size. He's got all these cool athletic abilities, but he's also still not first-round talent, all right? Yeah. Will Levis thought maybe I could sneak my way up there because I'm not first-round talent either. But if somebody's going to pick Anthony Richardson, then they're going to pick me too. He was very cocky. He was on site, and he didn't get picked. And I think this works better in his favor in the long run. And I'm going to tell you why in the second hour of this show, which this first one's about to be out of here. And it has been presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online and fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up. You can also call in on the show, 256-576-4977. That number's right above my head on WZZN TV. We got a wide open rest of this show. We're going to hop into some more draft talk, run down the first round. Then I'm going to do my list for you guys. Also going to give some more advice to Will Levis. And then we're hopping into the play-by-play with the Bandi man. And he might pull a list out of his bum, because I don't think he's got one, and he's saying he does. He said that earlier too, but then he said, man, I don't know. Either way, that's all coming up in the second hour, so don't go anywhere, because me and Bandi Man are on the other side here on the Afternoon Blitz. Sheesh.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. Still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time. and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Legal Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatedwitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Rambo Marine in Hazel Green is your one-stop shop for all things boating. Whether you are ready to surf with the newest Malibu wake boat or cruise in a Cobalt or Barletta pontoon, we have a boat ready for you and your family. Rambo Marine provides exceptional service second to none, so that you are ready to hit the water in no time. Stop by Rambo Marine today. We know boats. This hour of the Blitz is brought to you by Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Online at FlemingHSV.com. Welcome to the evolution of sports radio.
You see, in this industry, just like in life, everything evolves.
Call 256-576-4977 to make your audible for the Blitz.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It's the Afternoon Blitz. Here are your hosts, Captain Cool and the Bandi Man.
Second hour here in No Man's Land. Welcome back, everybody, to the Afternoon Blitz on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandi Man, Bailey Lowry.
Hey.
And again, you guys can call in on the show, 256-576-4977, and follow us on the Twitter at @TheBlitz_sports, as well as Twitch and YouTube at WZZN TV. Now, this second hour is presented by Woody Anderson Ford, the best place to get the best vehicles for the best prices. That's right, you can drive home in a brand new 2023 Bronco, Mustang, or if you're into trucks, they have a plethora of nice ones for you, including the F-150, the Ranger, and the very affordable Maverick. Guys, head on down, talk with Bobby White and his crew, and find out more at WoodyAndersonFord.com. Now, the draft started yesterday, and it's going to continue tonight with rounds 2 and 3. But I wanted to look over some of this stuff, so we're going to look over some of these picks. We're going to talk about how we feel, and also a new City Connect uniform has been released by an MLB team, and we're going to take a nice little look at that because, you know, I love new uniforms, and I always think they're cool. But let's see if this one is not so cool, kind of like the Texas Rangers one that we saw just a few weeks ago, because I'm seeing a trend, okay? I'm seeing a trend. And why is Will Levis being put in second round to third round to possibly even later? Why is it an actually good thing for the young quarterback? We're going to find out all of that here on What's Cool.
It's getting hot in here.
Hot in so hot in here. That's spicy meatball.
So it's time to cool down with Captain Cool.
You know what cool?
The Mariners.
You're looking at.
Yes, that's right. The Mariners have released their City Connect uniforms, and I gotta admit, they are pretty sleek. I wish you could put a picture up for them, Bandi. You could if I told you this earlier. But yeah, they dropped their new unis, and if you guys want to find them and what they all mean, go to Seattle Mariners Twitter, just at Mariners, and you can check these out with us. But they're paying tribute to the Trident. Very nice. I like it. They're coming out with a new, more modernized Trident, and they put it on this hat. Their colors are going to be dark blue, yellow, a different shade of yellow, as well as black. Okay? So you may be questioning, well, what's all this about? Yeah, it's going to be rush blue, all right? Sundown. These are the actual color names, okay? What? Armorillo. Capture. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, I guess it's the colors that really go back to the original team in Seattle, the Seattle Pilots. Hey. Yes, the Seattle Pilots, which we've seen them pay homage to the Seattle Pilots before. Back in like 2006, they had an old throwback uniform. It was a different style, okay? And also, I think only in 2019 they brought back those unis. But Yeah, and then the black that is used is a nod to the 1940s Seattle Steelheads uniform, which that's going back even farther. But still, we're paying homage to the city of Seattle, okay? The piping that's going to be going down the sides of the pants, the piping detail is a fresh take on the uniform piping used by both the Seattle Pilots and the Mariners. So that's a combination. Pizza Hut at Taco Bell. I like that very much. Moving on, what else we got on these unis? They have a PNW patch. The mountain is out. I don't really care about any of this stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna move on to the jersey font instead, because it's stitched across the chest of the Rush Blue jersey. I love how they use Rush Blue. It's Rush Blue. It's not just a blue. It's not a dark blue. It's not a light blue. It's not a navy blue. It's Rush Blue. Okay.
Okay.
The lettering style is advocated to the Seattle Pilots yet again. Now, if you guys didn't know this, the Seattle Pilots actually turned into the Brewers. So the Brewers also have their own take on this jersey, and they rock it pretty much every single day. And all it says is Brewers across it instead of Seattle. All right, they changed up the font a little bit. So, kind of cool. It turns out that the drop shadow used by... Okay, yeah. All right. The drop shadow on Seattle is a cap tip to a similar drop shadow used by the 1955 Pacific Coast League champion Rainiers. I don't... Who are these teams? Who are these teams? They're just coming out of nowhere. All right?
Drew DeArmond might know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if he's that insanely knowledgeable about baseball stuff. That's the thing. I don't know.
Nah, but he always rags on me for being young.
Yeah, you're right. The popular phrase, they have a Soto Mojo thing on the inside. It just says that. Okay, it's Soto Mojo, and it is inside of the jersey collar, and it celebrates the Soto neighborhood the Mariners have always called home. Cool. And then it also has two tridents, and obviously tridents are, they have W's on them. And one of them stands for the state of Washington, and the other one stands for Dubs. Like you get it in Dubs. Okay. They also have My Oh My on the jersey, which is down above the authentication patch. And, no three words are associated more with the Seattle Mariners than Hall of Fame broadcaster Dave Nias. Okay? I'm just throwing this stuff together, all right? Either way, My Oh My was the signature call that Dave used to use, so that's why that's there. Nice little touch. Overall, I'll give them a 7 out of 10. The one thing I don't like about these new uniforms that they keep throwing at us is using... It's not like white on white or gray on gray or anything like that. Instead, they use a blue top and then dark blue pants. And I'm just like, Texas did the same thing. They had white tops, dark blue pants. And I'm like, I don't like these. Okay, I don't like the way it looks. It does not look like baseball. It looks like some B-League team or maybe even possibly a double-A team. Okay, moving on from them because we figured out what we got to know from them. Will Levis did not get drafted in the first round. All right? Why me and Ryan Leaf think this is a good thing, and I know Joe was dogging the crap out of it. I was trying to get in the middle of it and be like,
I feel like we already got Will Levis now talking with Joe.
It's totally fine because Will Levis is, again, still possibly one of the best players in this draft, especially one of the best left in this draft. When it comes to quarterback prospects, definitely. Will Levis was very much humbled last night, all right? Man thought he was going to be top 5 pick in this NFL draft. Obviously, that's not what happened. And it was a pain having to watch him just as he had to be calm in that situation. I guess his mom in that situation was like trying to comfort him. He didn't want any of that. Okay? Very embarrassing moment. But now moving forward, he doesn't have to worry about being the next Ryan Leaf. He doesn't have to worry about being the next Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield. He doesn't have to worry about having that pressure on him for being a first-round pick in the NFL. Now he can go at the pace that he needs to go. He's a little bit more humbled. And he's going to get picked up in the second round or the third round. Either way, he's going to get picked up on the second day. It's going to be totally fine. He's going to make his bag. And you know what? He can now show people that maybe did not think he should have belonged in the first round, which is every single team. He can show them how he could play on the field and really prove his point. Bandi?
Here's the thing.
What?
What if he doesn't get picked up?
If he doesn't get picked up at all, in the entire draft?
No, what if he doesn't get picked up, like, tomorrow? Or today?
Today? Still, plenty of quarterbacks have come out of the draft, late picks, and they've gone on to do great things. Okay?
Well, you're starting to think, a quarterback with this much hype around him, though, how did it fall so fast? Like, he was projected top 5.
There were only 3 quarterbacks going to go in that first round, and there was supposed to be only 1 or 2. When it comes to the talent, C.J. Stroud, yeah, possibly. Bryce Young, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Anthony Richardson, if there wasn't a team desperate enough looking for him, they wouldn't have gotten him in the first round.
Yeah, but a lot of people had Levis over Richardson.
Exactly. I thought Will Levis, he's proved more for that Kentucky team than I think Anthony Richardson has. But, again, Anthony Richardson, he's 6'4", just like Will Levis, but he weighs probably 10 pounds heavier than him, and he has a little bit more athletic ability. All right? So I can see why they would choose him over Will Levis, but at the same time, I think their talent when it comes to being a quarterback is pretty similar. Except for we saw Will Levis turn around an organization in Kentucky.
Yeah, and you know what's going to be fun is just talking about the draft in general. I'm kind of switching topics over to like Bryce and all them.
That's fine.
But when we were talking about it with Joe, like, about what makes a good leader and just being likable in the locker room, I mean, that's what I've really enjoyed about these past couple quarterbacks for Alabama is that they've really just been some of the most likable guys.
Yeah, I mean, Tua Tagovailoa is like a god in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Hurts, you probably could not ask for like a more natural leader in your locker room. Like, already had that presence, and it's probably like one of, if not the most likable guy in the NFL.
How you feel about?
Well, actually, you got the Kelsey brothers now. Like they're up there too. Like the lovable goofballs.
How do you feel about Mac Jones? Where's he at? I think
I kind of like his energy.
I like his energy too.
I don't feel like I've really seen enough of him off the field. You know that?
Yeah, I think that's like Patriots quarterbacks. They just don't give him too much press time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've seen him talk a few times.
But now we full circle right back to a Jalen Hurts like personality and Bryce.
Yeah, just a guy that's ready to lead. He's very calm, collected,
incredibly humble. Yeah,
super humble. Okay. Obviously, Will Levis has a little bit of learning to do. He's definitely gotten humbled after that first night. He's not showing up in day 2, which is totally fine. He's going to get picked up sometime in this draft. And even if it's late, again, Tom Brady, Brock Purdy, a lot of these dudes, Drew Brees, picked up past the first round, and they went on to be very good. Brock Purdy, we still got to wait and see. There's more quarterbacks in that list, too. But, I mean, we're still going to have to wait and see on some of these dudes.
What's new about that Mr. Irrelevant? Like, they're trying to change that, right?
What are they trying to change about it?
They're trying to get rid of the term.
I think it's great.
Because they find it offensive.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful. Now, just to recap the NFL draft, then I'll get into my list. Carolina Panthers picking Bryce Young. This is straight up an A-grade draft pick. Just wonderful stuff. You're going to get great stuff out of this guy. Obviously, he's short. He's prematurely leaving the pocket quite a bit. He's a little too confident in his line. He's going to learn. Okay, he's going to learn quick because that's what he does. Houston Texans, they pick up C.J. Stroud. This is a huge win for them. They just needed anybody, okay? Davis Mills, he's not been good. He has not been good. He's the one guy that Cam Newton probably could have started over, all right? One very unsure quarterback. We got C.J. Stroud now on that team. This one was a surprising one, okay? Cardinals had this one. They traded with the Texans. Texans had yet another pick. And they picked Will Anderson Jr. Now this team has both what they need on the offense and the defense. And DeMeco Ryans is going to do a wonderful job with Will Anderson. And he is going to be one of the best players on defense in the NFL. And then we had the Colts making their decision. They didn't choose Will Levis. They chose Anthony Richardson. Now it's like, what are you going to do, though? You got one season. You can't start Anthony Richardson right off the bat. You got to wait. He does look like a quarterback who could start in the NFL, but he's not going to play like a quarterback who needs to start in the NFL. He's inconsistent, and he has a lack of experience. He did not play that much at Florida. Moving on, the Seattle Seahawks got in on this, and they picked up Devin Witherspoon from Illinois. Great pick. I think their offense right now, it needs some work, but I think it's where it needs to be. And I think Witherspoon is going to bring a lot more of the oomph to that defense for Seattle. Then we started getting into the offensive tackles. Paris Johnson Jr. from Ohio State. Big boy. Bring him in. Love to see it.
Yep.
The Raiders, they said, we want a defensive lineman, and they picked Tyree Wilson. This one was kind of projected, all right? A lot of people thought Tyree Wilson was going to this team. He's got an ideal frame. He's very lengthy. And he flies off that line of scrimmage. Okay, he's got power, and he's got good length behind them legs. So I can't wait to see what he does. Then the Falcons chose to surprise us a little bit, but you know what? Prior to anybody talking about Bijan Robinson going to the Falcons, I thought in my head, what do the Falcons need right now?
Okay.
And I was thinking.
What do they need?
I was thinking this kid right here. Build up on the offense. Build up on the defense with those later picks. Bring in some free agents, and you guys will be solid. All right? I think Bijan Robinson, again, one of the most talented kids in this draft. Philadelphia Eagles pick up Jalen Carter. Even after controversy, still one of the top prospects in this draft, and I think there's nothing but great things to come from this. Going on, Chicago Bears get a guy from Tennessee, Darnell Wright, offensive tackle. Again, probably one of the best offensive tackles you can get in the game. Bring him in. And then we move on, Tennessee Titans. We talked about this with Joe. Peter Skoronski. Offensive line. Moving on. Detroit Lions make the dumbest pick, I think, ever. But if they get rid of Swift, they try to make up some room in there, then it might not be as dumb. Maybe they got something planned, okay? But they bring in Jahmyr Gibbs. Again, they've got 3 running backs that could all start now. And I feel like it was just a waste of a pick.
Yeah.
But either way, good one right there. They didn't think it was a very good one. Green Bay Packers, they get their edge rusher in Lucas Van Ness from Iowa. Spectacular little pickup right there. I think that is a B grade right there. Pittsburgh Steelers, they make up for their little pick. Could have gotten somebody else, but I think this was a fine one because this is what they need. Offensive tackle, Broderick Jones. Broderick Jones, something like that. Either way, he's going to help out good old Pickett. It's going to be good for him. New York Jets, they get Will McDonald. He's another edge rusher. There's a lot going in this one. Washington Commanders make a little bit of an iffy one right here, okay? Emmanuel Forbes, man from Mississippi State. Very skinny, but he is excellent in that man coverage. He is a small boy, though. So I feel like he's going to get bodied by a few of these wide receivers in this NFL, okay? But you know what? Washington Commanders, you're going to do what you got to do. New England Patriots get somebody from Oregon. It's Christian Gonzalez. Yes, sir. Another big boy. He's long, he's athletic, and physical. He's going to do good things. Detroit Lions get another boy from Iowa. Jack Campbell, linebacker. This is a big boy, okay? I feel like he's going to be one of those guys that you're going to look at and be like, hey, that guy looks like Brock Nessler. I think he's going to be throwing around some heads. It's going to be nice to see. Tampa Bay Buccaneers get Kalijah Kancey. I don't freaking know how to pronounce his name. Defensive lineman from Pittsburgh. Seahawks pick up Jackson Smith Njigba from Ohio State. Spectacular wide receiver to get right here. I think they're going to do good things with him. He's a fast boy. Los Angeles Chargers get the other big boy wide receiver, Quentin Johnson. I think Quentin Johnson's going to be spectacular in the NFL. And I think he fits perfectly with the Chargers offense. And he's going to help out with Mike Williams and that rest of that regimen over there in California. Baltimore Ravens get Zay Flowers, wide receiver from Boston College. That's what the Ravens do. They pick up guys 22 in the draft, and they do big things with them. Zay Flowers going to help out with Lamar Jackson in that new contract. And, maybe Antonio Brown's going to stop being a weirdo and posting his pictures about, I'm coming back to the NFL, rocking the Ravens gear. He did do that, by the way. He did do that. Minnesota Vikings pick up Jordan Addison, another wide receiver from USC. New York Giants get Deonte Banks, cornerback from Maryland. Buffalo Bills get Dalton Kincaid from Utah. We've talked about him a few times, tight end, big boy. Dallas Cowboys get a defensive lineman, Mazzie Smith from Michigan. Kind of an iffy one right there. We're still kind of figuring out how that one's going to be. Jacksonville Jaguars, Anton Harrison, offensive tackle from Oklahoma. This man is spooky. He's a scary boy, and he moves quick too. So, he's going to be a big quarterback protector over in Jacksonville. Cincinnati Bengals get Miles Murphy, edge from Clemson. The Saints pick up Brian Breesy, defensive lineman at Clemson.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles get another great pickup, Nolan Smith, edge, Georgia. And then the Kansas City Chiefs, Felix Nudik Uzuma. That's how you say his name. I'm going to say it like that. It had to be the last one that stumped me. Edge from Kansas State. Can't say it's a bad pick. Kansas City Chiefs are one of those teams that has almost everything for them. Now hopping into my top list. We're going to be running through it quick. Yes, Bandi, I love me some draft busts. Okay? So now I'm going to be talking about the draft busts since 1990. It's going to start out with Vernon Gholston for the Jets. 2008, 6th overall pick. This man was a waste of money for this team and did absolutely nothing except for back in Ohio State when he was actually doing things. He had the single season record of 14 sacks back in 2007, which Chase Young then broke in 2009. But whenever he came to the Jets, he did not play well. Moving on, number 9, Justin Gilbert to the Browns. You guys look back at the 2018 or the 2014 draft and you think Johnny Manziel was the bust? No. Justin Gilbert was the bust, okay? He played 23 games for them over his 2 years. Just before the 2016 season, the Browns were like, we're done with him. He has not done anything. And they gave up on him. And he did not go on to do anything else in his career. And in his time in the NFL, he made a total of $10 million. So, he was just out of there, though. I mean, he did not do anything from what I remember. I didn't even see him really playing on the field. Okay? It was just kind of a sad time for the Browns. Number 8, Justin Blackmon, wide receiver for the Jaguars. There was a lot of hype going around this dude when he came in. 2012, he was a 5th overall pick, and he did nothing for this team. You could tell by the way he was not getting the passes thrown to him, but he wasn't catching the ball. He looked so cool on the field, but he didn't do anything for this team. And then he had multiple suspensions, and he only played like 4 games in 2013, and he hasn't really played since. It's insane to think about. Then number 7, we got Steve Emptman. That was way back when. I'm not even going to talk about it. These next 3 are very old, so I'm not going to talk about them. Charles Rogers, number 4, wide receiver, 2003, 2nd overall pick to the Lions. This guy, again, you have a wide receiver. He has a lot of hype coming out of college. And you know what? The Lions thought they were going to get a great pick with this guy. 2nd overall pick, okay? 2nd overall pick. And it was a wide receiver. He looked a lot like Andre Johnson. And they passed on Andre Johnson. They passed, yeah. He ended up being selected. Oh, it was just not good. I can't even go on with him about it. And then it's sad. It's sad too because he did later pass away at the age of 38 due to liver failure. So he dealt with a lot of problems on his own personal life as well. Now I'm going to skip to number 2 because we got to get out of here soon. Ryan Leaf. That's right. We finally got to Ryan Leaf.
Yeah, I figured we were going to talk about him later.
I had to get to him, okay? You can't have a conversation about the greatest draft busts in NFL history without mentioning Ryan Leaf's name, okay? So, we're going to mention it. The Chargers picked him up, 2nd overall pick, back in 1998, all right? In 3 years with the Chargers, Leaf only started 18 games, and he went 4-14. And then he missed an entire season due to an injury in 1999. By the end of the 2000 season, the Chargers decided they didn't want him anymore, and they released the man. The most embarrassing thing about the Leaf situation for the Chargers is that they actually traded up to get him. Going into the 1998 draft, the Chargers had the 3rd overall pick to move up to the 2nd spot. And the Chargers gave Arizona the 3rd overall pick, a 2nd round pick, and a 1st round pick in 1999. Oh, and the Chargers also gave the Cardinals 2 players. Sheesh. The Chargers got stuck with Leaf in a year where Peyton Manning went number 1 overall to the Colts. Should have just traded up to number 1. Figure out a way. And then the final one, Bandi, I wouldn't be surprised if you guess it, all right?
The biggest bust?
Biggest bust since 1990, Jamarcus Russell. Jamarcus Russell went to the Raiders, 1st overall pick, 2007. This man looked elite. He looked wonderful in college. Goes on to the NFL, gets drafted by a team that was told by numerous people not to draft him. And they pick up a guy who does not have work ethic whatsoever.
Little to none.
And it spawned the funniest story, one of the most memed-upon stories in all of NFL history, and that's the blank DVD story. Okay?
I forgot about the blank DVD.
Yeah, you forgot about it. This is the story of how it goes, okay? Jeez, this is just, it's so sad, okay? According to Eisen, Sapp said a Raiders coach had given the young Russell a DVD loaded with plays and ideas to take home overnight and critique. The following day, the story goes, Russell brought the DVD back and said he was on board with everything he watched. The punchline is there was nothing on that DVD. And you know what? He was on board with it because it was just as blank as his mind because it had nothing in it. Not exactly Tom Brady. I'll say that for sure. Sheesh. That's tough. You get the 1st overall pick, and he has 0 work ethic. Reminds me of somebody I know. I'm sorry, I'm looking at that mic that's not doing anything, but it's sitting in front of you.
Sure.
Acting like it's working. But you know that mic's not doing anything because you got that headset on. There you go. Now I can see your face. Either way, that's the top busts since 1990. We gotta hop out of here. I'm getting hungry. Bandi.
We got a game to call after this.
No.
We got video game news to talk about.
That's why I'm looking forward to your video game news to fill me up before this game, because I think I will starve if I don't have anything. So, don't go anywhere, because you're listening to The Afternoon Blitz.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
Guys, when we were 20, we never had to worry about spontaneity. And now that we've gotten older, spontaneity has been replaced with pills and injections. We're just trying to keep that intimacy, but it's taken away from spontaneity. At Advanced Life Clinic, we now offer GainsWave, which uses sound waves to non-invasively treat this issue with no need for pills or injections. Just give us a call, 256-888-9367, or check us out online, advancedlifeclinic.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked the reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
New name, new players, and an even better championship experience. This April, the Korn Ferry Tour returns to the Rocket City for the 2023 Hometown Lenders Championship at the Ledges. Experience the beauty and drama of the Ledges in person as golf's rising stars chase their PGA Tour dreams. From the first man on the green to the roar of the crowd when the final putt drops. Be part of every moment of the Hometown Lenders Championship at the Ledges from April 24th through April 30th. Tickets to be a part of the action are on sale now at HTLChamp.com.
What's the matter, honey? Can't sleep?
Ugh, it's this heartburn. At night, it's the worst.
Heartburn? Again?
Yeah, I'm done with it. I'm going to kick acid with Rolaids.
Rolaids Advanced goes to work instantly for powerful relief of your worst heartburn, bloating, and gas.
Feeling better?
Much better.
That was fast.
Mm-hmm.
Kick acid and gas with Rolaids Advanced.
Give me one more funky beat. Ain't nothing like a funky beat.
Welcome back, everybody.
Sorry, I was singing before you even cued me, Mike.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Afternoon Blitz. Here on the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Network, I'm the Bandyman Bailey Lowry, joined across the glass by Captain Cool John Abraham.
That's me.
And this hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, the best place
to get the best vehicles
for the best prices.
That's right. You can hop on down to Woody Anderson Ford and pick up a brand new 2023 Bronco, Mustang, or if you're in the trucks, they have a plethora of nice ones for you. And Bobby White and his crew will take care of you guys. So find out more at WoodyAndersonFord.com. And remember, you can take your vehicle there and get it serviced, and you don't even have to have a Ford. No, not one Ford in that garage of yours. So bring your Saturn down, get it checked up, and go on with a smooth ride from there. Bandy, we're done with the sports talk, aren't we?
We are done with the sports talk.
Oh, no. I've had enough of it.
We've talked NFL draft, Tennessee Titans.
Joe Hunk.
Will Levis.
A lot of Will Levis.
A lot of Will Levis, actually, now that I think about it. But then again, so did the draft. They were showing him all night. But now it's time for the video game news and my top 10 list, which we got some interesting stories today. There's a statement put out by the Red Cross I want to talk about regarding gamers.
Okay.
Let Me Solo Her, the infamous Elden Ring player, has finally done it, where he's completed his legendary playthrough. And I'm going to go over some of the most broken, overpowered NBA My Team cards that have been released over the years. It's NBA playoff time as well. We haven't talked about the NBA today.
No, we haven't.
So I'm going to slip it into my segment. That's all coming up here on the E Play-by-Play.
We also haven't talked NHL. So.
That is true.
Time to catch up on esports with E Play-by-Play with the Bandyman.
I say, actually, hold that thought for a second, because we can actually talk about a little NHL right here. Because didn't they just do something with Star Wars Jedi Survivor?
Oh yeah, they did. They added in a New Jersey kit to the game, so now you can play with just some random it's like if Star Wars had hockey. This would be one of the teams, so it's really cool looking. So
actually, it's kind of cool, but here's the thing: you can only get it to run properly because it has been slammed over performance issues.
Not the hockey game.
On consoles, it seems to be working a little bit better. It seems to be working like a little bit better, but
superior.
Still a couple issues being ran, but primarily on PC, it has been running like garbage. And we saw a video on Twitter. I mean, one from Mudahar on Twitter he posted a clip where he brought it down to a really low resolution, ultra performance mode, everything on low, and was still getting about 25 frames a second. Like, that is not good. I mean, like, because video games now, I get it. I was harping on like the whole 60 FPS thing when it comes to animation. I get it. Gaming's still different. You want that 60 FPS, one frame 60 frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
You want that smoothness. If you get an inconsistent frame rate or any kind of dip that low at all, I mean, it's going to severely hamper not only your experience of the game, but just the game in general. It's broken.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to do this.
It doesn't look like it's even
It looks like
playable.
garbage.
Under 30 and with the spikes that happen. Like, if it was just at, like, 30, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, we can live with it. It's not what we want. But the spikes that I saw whenever the guy was playing at 25 frames per second, these random spikes were what was like, that stuff's going to throw off the entire experience of playing this game.
And that's when you're playing on the absolute lowest settings. Imagine if you're just trying to play it, like, just in HD.
I know.
Just in standard high definition.
It's insane to think about.
This was, to me, this is just showing that this game was not really ready to be put out yet.
No, I mean, I think, okay.
It needed like a week for optimization. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just needed just a little bit more time. This was not ready yet. It needed just performance optimization. That was it. Just a little tune-up.
Yeah.
Stuff that you could put into a day one patch.
Yeah, I think that a lot of this stuff happens quite a bit where it's like the PC version of the game always runs a little bit slower. And it's weird to think about because PCs, they have unlimited power at times, okay? But it's a lot of the times because they need to be optimized for that certain platform, which is all of these different PCs. And again, it could have came out for like Xbox and PlayStation. It could have came out today or yesterday or whenever it came out, and it could have been totally fine.
Yeah.
But wait a little bit if it's not ready on another console or a PC, and then put it out when it is ready. I don't think a lot of people will get that upset if they can't play it for a week. I know we waited patiently for Street Fighter to finally come out after its 6-day ban from everything else.
Yeah. Which they got their hands on it early, and I'm still been enjoying it.
Yeah.
I love playing it.
Yeah,
I went back.
glad.
I hopped back onto 5. I'm like, I could just be playing 6.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care that I've got all these characters in here. Like, I just want to play 6.
Exactly, dude.
But now on to Elden Ring, because let me solo her. Probably the most famous Elden Ring player at this point.
Oh yeah.
He has helped thousands of players beat the hardest boss in the game all by himself, per his name. Has now finished his modded run of Elden Ring, where every single enemy in the game is replaced with Millennia, the hardest boss in the game.
Sheesh.
Now, and there are a lot of areas in Elden Ring where it's a lot of open fields, you got a lot of room to run around, but at the same time, you got a lot of areas that are populated, like, with 20-plus enemies, like, at a time. And you got to kind of magically weave your way through them. Like, that's part of the science. Like, all right, I'm going to dodge this one. I'm going to roll here, and that's going to dodge this attack. I'm going to make it through unscathed. Throw all of that out the window because now you're having to dodge everything.
So he made everybody.
Everybody.
So not just the bosses.
Not just the bosses. Every single enemy in the game, over 1,000 different enemies. Millennia.
Did he have to fight them all, or did he just run by them?
He did run by a lot of them. I mean, because again, would you want to fight 5 at a time? I wouldn't.
I don't know. How long does it take to fight her? Like, if you're a normal player in the first place.
If you're gonna go in like your first time trying to fight her, and you're just gonna stick with it until you finally beat her, good couple hours.
Oof. So then, I mean, this guy goes in there with a pot on his head, nothing,
no armor,
no armor at all, nothing equipped. Man goes in there and he either skips them or he probably figured out something to where he can beat them in probably like 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, he's got her attack pattern down to a science.
I bet.
Because people would just like, okay, I'm gonna summon his spirit. He's gonna come in, per the name, let me solo her. The guy who summoned him would just stand back and he would just fight him by himself. And you don't get you get half of your resources when you get called into another world in Elden Ring. So it's like if you got like 10 health flasks and like 6 magic ones, then you're down to 5 and 3 of each when you get called, and you can't replenish them. So you go in with no way to replenish your items, and good luck, sir.
Sounds tough.
But he made it a science, and it's really cool to see it completed.
Yeah, I mean, the man he has done everything you can do probably in that game.
Because people didn't think that he could do it.
He said, let me prove you wrong, just sit back there and watch me.
And he said, let me solo her.
He did.
Now, Red Cross put out a very interesting statement a couple days ago. This is from a Fox News article. But Red Cross urges gamers to obey laws of war while playing first-person shooters. Even wars have rules. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, that's not going to happen. I'm just going to be straight up right here, just blunt as I can. That's not going to happen. But we, the International Committee at the Red Cross, rally all FPS gamers to play by the rules of war, which protect the humanity and dignity of people all over the world. Explain that I was trying to fight against the normalization of war, even for gamers playing games involving guns or including themes of conflict from their couch. Look, I get what they're going for. I get what you're really trying to do. But this is just incredibly out of touch. Because the people playing these games, we're not thinking about that when we're playing like Call of Duty or these other FPS shooters. We're not thinking about obeying the rules of war. Like, I'm sorry, 99% of the meta would break the Geneva Convention.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to slide cancel and just go up behind somebody and stab them in the back or blow weed in their face.
Like, I'm pretty sure you can't just call in Predator missiles, danger close, next to your own squad onto an unmarked village.
Probably not.
Probably not. But here's the thing: if you try to, it's like, you know that old rule where you would try to play GTA, like just out of curiosity, like I'm gonna follow the laws. Like, I'm not gonna break any traffic laws. I'm gonna try to drive normally in Grand Theft Auto, and it never works. And it's just kind of that same thing. I mean, it just shows how out of touch it is, because we're not thinking about those as gamers. We're not thinking about following the rules of war. We're thinking about what's going to give me the upper hand in this video game I'm playing.
Or what's going to make it more fun. And I think dropping a bunch of missiles or using a rocket launcher in a small map is the best thing ever, because it's fun. It's enjoyable. It's a video game. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be fun. And we know how a lot of gamers, at least a majority of them, 99% of gamers, know how to differentiate.
Oh, no, we listed rules.
We got to go down these rules. But
oh, my God. Okay.
we know how to differentiate real war to video game war. Because if we get called up, we know we can't just pull a rocket launcher out of just nowhere and just, blast it, okay?
Yeah.
It's common sense.
All right. The ICRC listed 4 rules for gamers around the world to follow that apply to the rules of war.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
What do we got?
This is giving me PETA vibes.
It really is.
The first rule: when an enemy is down and can't respond, you can't keep shooting at them. I blame Call of Duty on that one. I mean, that's just Last Stand.
You have to, because you can't trust what people are going to be equipping. I mean, Modern Warfare 2 told us this, all right?
Look, we spent 5 years, we spent the good part of the early parts of Call of Duty having to deal with Last Stand.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me how to play.
Yeah.
Remember when it got to Modern Warfare 3 and you had C4 on it in Last Stand? Remember how nutty that was?
Just blow up.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. It was like the size of a Predator explosion. The second rule: bots that don't fire unprovoked are considered civilians, and you can't target or harm them.
So if somebody does not fire at me, I have to have a Mexican standoff with them, all right? And I have to wait for them to shoot.
Look, guys, I'm sorry. Everyone played No Russian in their childhood. I think a lot of us have already broken that rule already.
Yeah.
We can't really go back after playing No Russian.
Definitely cannot.
The third rule: in any given game map, houses, schools, or hospitals are considered safe zones that you cannot harm. When fighting in these spaces, you must do everything you can to avoid damage.
I didn't hear airport.
I did not hear airport either. Just map, house. I just hear houses, schools, and hospitals.
Houses, there's a lot of houses. If we're playing Warzone, then a lot of the battling goes down in houses or buildings.
So look, you're telling me that not only while I'm having 3 other squads shoot at me in a 2-story house, I also have to make sure I don't break the china? That's what you're telling me?
But this also leaves open all of airports. So if we got airports in Call of Duty, at least, we can go for it. Bandy's cracking up.
No, I just read the 4th rule. Okay. If you have an unused med kit that works on others, you must give it to those who need it, be they friendly or enemy. No, Dead by Daylight players will never do this. I will already tell you that right now.
Sheesh. You're going to need it for later, man.
Play Dead by Daylight for 30 minutes and no one... I've been playing... Me and my friend have been playing off and on for years.
Yeah.
And I've maybe been given a med kit twice.
Sounds like terrible teammates.
I mean, because it's not the thing to do. You don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You either use it, you just use it on yourself. If you have an unused med kit.
That's hilarious.
These guys are not going to like Dead Island, too.
Just give it to their friends. Just like, hey, this guy, he's talking in proximity chat. Let me just throw him a med kit because he needs something. And then he shoots you. Before it even gets to him, he just shoots you.
See, that's what cracks me. Be they friendly or enemy.
Be they friendly?
No, I'm not.
Or enemy.
Look, I'm not going to give my sandwich as heavy in Team Fortress 2 to the enemy heavy. I'm going to eat it.
Yeah. It's just the dumbest thing that they could have. I mean,
they're trying to implement rules. This is such like a PETA company thing to do.
April Fool's Day was 28 days ago. Okay.
Yeah, it was. What you missed it by a mark.
They missed it because now it's just like we can pretty much just dog Red Cross for not knowing anything about what we do in video games.
Now, a second rule, I mean, you won't really have to apply that often because I mean, if you play like a game like Yakuza, I mean, people are trying to dog you on the street all the time. I mean, you have like a gang of four thugs just come out of nowhere and just instigate a fight with you.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that too much. But there's no way that anyone in their right mind actually tries to follow these. I could see people trying to make a YouTube video about this, trying to play through Grand Theft Auto while following the Red Cross rules. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
That's the only game I would do any of those. Okay, so racing games are the only
Watch Dogs would be hard.
Racing games are the only games that I try to ever follow rules and drive drive nice, obey traffic, all that type of stuff. But even in those games, it gets to a point where you're like, okay, I literally cannot do this anymore. I just want to drive fast because it's a video game. It gives me the freedom to do that. I can't do that in real life. So I take all my speed demon self out in the video game world. And I love it.
On my now top 5 list of the most broken NBA My Team 2K cards ever released of all time. And this is taken from DBG on YouTube, so be sure to check out his video. But I want to throw a couple honorable mentions, which is just any GOAT card that's been released since the test of time. I mean, again, they have all 99 stats. What do you expect?
Jeez.
You got a Shaq with a better 3-point rating than Steph Curry, and that's faster than Westbrook. And can handle the ball better than Kyrie.
Are you putting?
Of course he's going to be broken.
Are you putting rules on this game just like the Red Cross is trying to put rules on us, Bandi? It's a video game.
I'm putting rules on my list.
Do it.
We're going to go with cards that actually had a really big use when the game was around that were as well just good. And I like the way that DBG set up his list because he highlights those cards. Mm-hmm. Starting with number 5, NBA 2K14, Sapphire James Harden. Relatively cheap card to get. I mean, he was just a rewards card. And by God, I don't know what it was about his 3-point rating, but he had a hot zone seemingly everywhere and could not miss. He was one of the best scorers in the game for relatively no cost. Number 4, Silver Gerald Green from NBA 2K13. Now, the early 2Ks actually had what used to be bronze and silver league where you could only take in either 3 silver players or only 1 gold player, and you had to build a pretty budget lineup in the start of your career before you could really start using the really broken stuff, you know. Gerald Green in those early leagues was stupid good for how good he was at driving. No one could seemingly stop him because he had such a high rating for such a low overall rated player. But his driving layup and his acceleration was good. Number 3, Ruby Jonathan Isaac from NBA 2K18. 89 overall small forward. Now, here's the thing. Why do you think he might be broken? I believe there actually was a bug in the game with his shot.
Where it never missed?
Well, it's not that he never missed. It's just that he seemed to get greens a lot more often than other characters.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It might have just been his release. But on top of having a good left corner hot zone, as well as just a pretty good 3-point rating in general, made him one of the best shooters in the game for a very low cost. Number 2, NBA 2K20, launch George Mirasan. 85 overall, but this guy's 7'6". Had a good, his stats weren't really anything special. Just pretty average across the board, but again, being 7'6", he had a good post package for NBA 2K20, which actually did kind of favor the post game a little bit more as they were trying to tweak it. and you had yourself someone who never got out-rebounded. Nobody would get a second chance opportunity if you had George Mears on your team, and you combine him with another good card that came out later on in the game's lifespan, Ruby Yao Ming. You kind of had yourself someone you weren't getting out-rebounded unless someone was also running that combo. And number one, I actually got great memories of this card personally. NBA 2K16. I didn't even have to look at the list to see what year it was. I could just tell by the card art. NBA 2K16, Silver Zach LaVine. Now, this is before Zach LaVine really got on the map. Before this is the year of the dunk contest. You know, this is that year.
Yeah,
it was crazy. But what they did see about Zach LaVine though was that he had an incredibly good driving dunk and vertical. Good acceleration for a point guard. Was eligible to be used in the very beginning league, so you need really good silvers and bronzes for that league. Zach LaVine was not getting stopped in the paint. So many this card carried me through the silver league because not only he actually had a low 80 3-pointer or something a high 70 3-pointer, not too bad, but good ball handling at the top and could not be stopped if he drove inside. I have so many posters. I remember just postering so many people as a kid because I was able to pull silver Zach LaVine. I was like, okay, yeah, time to get out of the silvers. I'm ready. Also, honorable mention to silver Klay Thompson before he really took off as well. Again, just a really low budget silver card. Again, you could buy him for 500 coins. He was cheap.
All right.
Had a 92 standing 3. He was not missing.
That's pretty good.
And you could use him in the early leagues. That's the thing.
Very nice.
But with that, we got to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to wrap up the show, so don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Afternoon Blitz.
The Blitz has been called.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seed, managing partner of University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Crimson Tide football. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com for all our great offers. And get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today. Because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide!
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Bing bong, bing 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 bong, bing 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 bong. Okay, welcome back to the Afternoon Blitz. Final segment of the week. It's crazy to think we flew through yet another one. I'm Captain Cool alongside with the Bandi Man, who is jamming out right now. He's dancing currently. He's ready to go and play or do some baseball, do some play-by-play.
You ready for the weirdest cutout?
Yes. Is it just gonna stop? Oh, sheesh. That is not a combination I like to hear. It's the end of the show. Makes me sad. Either way. A lot of news came in late in the show that I wish we could talk about, but we just don't have the time. But could the Senators go for $1 billion in the NHL? Ryan Reynolds might say yes. Who knows? Also, Jim Irsay asking fans if they would take Will Levis? What the heck is he on? It's very strange. And Antonio Brown coming back to the NFL? What the heck? Sports are getting weird. And you know what? We're going to like it because we're going to stay weird here on the Afternoon Blitz. But for me and for the Bandi Man, we'll be gone. But you can catch us over on 97.7 ESPN The Zone for some UAH baseball versus Auburn Montgomery. So you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch you next time.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming
Action with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from, and they've got the extra